Hello pumpkins, welcome back to another video and welcome to an extremely highly requested video that I've been asked to do for the longest time. I don't even know that we're finally doing it. This is going to be a video that's not for everyone, but I know that the people who've requested it will appreciate it. It is a mental health chit chat, all those vibes, big sister talk, that kind of thing. And I've got myself a coffee because I know this is going to be a long video to film. I put it on my story that I was doing this and I have never had so many responses, so I'm going to have to make this as like a part 1, and if you want a part 2 let me know and I'll answer the rest of them, because I feel like the questions that were asked are questions that need quite in-depth answers. So yeah, I'm not going to make this intro any longer than it needs to be. Welcome to the video, hope you enjoy it. Like I said, it's not for everyone, not everyone wants to talk about stuff like this or listen to about stuff like this, but if it does help at least one of you, then I'm doing my job. So yeah, I'm literally just going to start off from the first one and then just go along, because if you guys want another part to this, then I can just carry on. So number 1 is best way to deal with anxiety when being at work. I have a horrible manager and he makes me anxious. I've been there, worn the t-shirt. It's hard with anxiety at work, and obviously, by the way guys, I'm by no means a mental health professional. Like, I don't have any qualifications apart from like fucking dance and drama, but I feel like I'm quite experienced in mental health. That's why I'm always up for like giving advice and stuff. But obviously, please don't take this like I'm a professional, because I'm really not. If you need to see professional advice, please go to a GP or a mental health specialist. But anyway, I just wanted to say a little disclaimer. I just, from what I've learned, if something is making you so unhappy and really affecting your mental health in a negative way, you've just got to let it go. And I know it's easier said than done, because you can't just quit your job, do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, even if it's just one person that's making your life miserable, you can't just wait for that person to go, because it could be that they never actually end up leaving, do you know what I mean? So if it's something that like you've tried telling someone, or you told that person, you know, like they make you anxious, whatever, which isn't always the easiest thing to do, I know, and you just feel like it's just not going to change, I really just would maybe look at moving to a different job, or I don't know what you do for work, but like area in your job or something like that, where you haven't got to work directly with that person, because at the end of the day, you do get horrible people out there. Unfortunately, the world is a cruel place and not everyone is friendly and nice and sweet and kind. If you can, just have a look at maybe moving jobs, even though it might not be ideal because you might really enjoy your actual job role, but maybe you could look for the same role somewhere else. That's the only advice I could really say for that, because yeah, nothing is worth your mental health, like suffering, like at all. It really, really isn't. No amount of money, no amount of things, like your mental health should always come first, because at the end of the day, that's what you've got to live with for the rest of your life, do you know what I mean? Whereas like you can change things. If you're scared to like move jobs or whatever, trust me, do not be afraid. It'll be okay. People do it all the time. But yeah, I really hope that helps. I feel like that's a bit of a hard one to answer, because I feel like it does have a straightforward answer, but I know that it's not just as easy as leaving your job, do you know what I mean? But my biggest advice in that is literally just remember, nothing is worth you having to struggle with your mental health. Like, it's just the worst thing in the world, we all know that. So yeah, I hope that helps. I hope you're okay, Angel, because that is pretty shit, especially because we spend more time at work than we do at home, really. Do you know what I mean? Like, you spend more time working. So yeah, I'm sorry I'm going through that. That is hard, but I'm sending you all the love in the world, and I really hope it gets sorted soon and you can be happy, because nothing worse than feeling unhappy at work. Any tips on opening up to family and friends for support? I don't think I'm the best to answer this, because I would literally hide my emotions from my friends and family for the longest time, but then I do feel like as you get older it does get easier, because you get more secure in yourself, and like the fear of rejection does kind of ease off, because you do think like, oh, what if I open up to them and they just end up thinking I'm weird, or they're like, okay, because some people are unfortunately like that. But you just gotta say it. If it's easier to send it in a text message, do that. Maybe just start off with, oh, I'm feeling a bit anxious lately, can't seem to shake it off. And then they might be like, oh, like, why, what's on your mind? And then even if you say like, oh, it sounds silly, but blah, 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 because you just gotta say it in a way that feels comfortable to you. And sometimes your family aren't the best people to go to if you don't have a really strong relationship with them. Like, sometimes your friends aren't the best people. Like, just go first of all to whoever you feel comfortable, like whether it's a friend, a colleague, family member, a boyfriend, your boyfriend's mum, your girlfriend's mum, literally whatever. Whoever you feel like, oh, this person, I feel like I could open up to them and I feel a bit comfortable, and just let them know how you're feeling. Like, there's nothing wrong with it, and if anyone treats you any differently for your feelings, then something's clearly wrong with them, because that's just not okay. But yeah, just try and, like, it is hard, because like I said, I feel like that does come with like time, because I suffered on my own for so many years, and then one day I just, not one day, but you know what I mean, like then there came a time that I got a bit more confident in myself, that I felt like I could open up to people. Don't get me wrong, there's certain people in my family and in my life that I would never open up to still, because I still don't feel comfortable, but I've got the ones that I can open up to, because even though sometimes you feel like you want to scream it from the rooftops because you just want help, or you want just to be comforted, because that is completely normal, by the way. It's not attention seeking, it's nothing like that. If you are struggling, it's good to tell people, because they can help you, and even just saying it out loud sometimes helps. Or maybe like write it down on a bit of paper, like what you want to say and how you feel, and have that with you. It's not embarrassing, there's nothing to be ashamed of. Like, we all struggle, even like the hardest people, like the sort of coldest or strongest people, you know, they all struggle with stuff, and it's completely normal, you're completely human. So yeah, just try that, but honestly, don't suffer on your own. Like, it's the worst thing you can do long term. It's just damaging. And the sooner you tell someone, the better. And just doesn't, like I said, doesn't matter who it is, just find someone that you feel comfortable enough to talk to, and then go from there. Yeah. I'm not going to say it after every single one, but I'm sending you all so much love. Anyone who said anything in, anyone who's just watching this video, I love you all. You're very loved. How do you wind down after working on social media? I'm not the best, you know. I do try, because obviously I'm literally on my phone all the time. Like, not like texting and stuff. Obviously I do text and that, but it's not like I'm just like texting friends. Like, I'm working, I'm filming, I'm editing, I'm looking for content, I'm planning stuff, I'm doing emails, whatever. And then in the evenings, you know, like normally you want to just scroll on TikTok or blah blah. Like, for me that's draining, because I'm like, I've been on my phone all day and I still find myself doing it, but I know that it's not good for me. I need a break. So if I do wind down, if I force myself to wind down, I will sit in my bed, I will have my laptop up, I'll make a cup of tea, go and get my favourite biscuits from the shop, and then just watch like Gilmore Girls. I just like watching stuff that's really just like easy, it's not too dramatic. Like, Gilmore Girls is perfect. If any of you guys have watched Gilmore Girls, you need to watch it. Or like Emily in Paris, just really like cozy things. You just feel relaxed, it can like take your mind away, that kind of thing. Having a bath is really good. Going for a nice walk and listening to some music. If you're into like meditation and stuff, then obviously that. I love sitting with my cats. I need to wind down more, because I just find myself on my phone the whole fucking day. And then I'm actually terrible at replying as well. Like, my friends, I reply so late sometimes. And my Instagram DMs, I'm just like, I can't, because where I'm on my phone all the time, the last thing I then want to do is spend time like messaging those people. So I feel bad, but you know, it's just I just have to, because otherwise I'm just going to be trapped on my phone constantly. But I also like going out for dinner with my friends, that kind of thing. I like going on drives. Yeah, that's how I wind down. Fellow BPD gal, it's so refreshing that you don't hide it. Thank you for being you. Thank you, Angel. Yeah, if you didn't know, I've got BPD, borderline personality disorder. When my doctor ever first said to me, you've got BPD, I was like, bipolar? And she was like, no, borderline personality disorder. I was like, do explain. I think that was actually a question on how I got diagnosed. I'm sure there was. And we can just link that one to this because it kind of links. Okay. You recently spoke about BPD diagnosis. How did you find out? Okay, so I have always had depression, anxiety. I have obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD, and so I've always like had help for it, like my mental health, like either GP or like private therapy and stuff like that. But last year it got really, really bad again, because I have like times where it's just, basically it's always there, and then there's times where it goes so bad and then it just go back to like normal for me, and then, do you know what I mean? And it peaked again last year and it was horrible. And I basically went to my doctor and just wanted to look into, is there anything else I can do, because it was just getting to the point that it was affecting my life, like it was affecting my job and everything like that. And like I've worked so hard to be able to get this job, so if I just end up getting so depressed that I can't do it, I can't work, I'd just lose it all. So I was like, I can't let that happen. And it was just affecting everything in my life, my physical health, just everything. And so I went to my doctor and I said to them, look, hon, I think there's something else, because I always had a suspicion, like even my doctor had a suspicion before, but I was just like, oh no, I'm just like depressed, whatever. But she said to me, she was like, have you ever been assessed for BPD or ADHD? And I was like, no. And obviously that's when she was like, BPD, and because I originally thought BPD was bipolar disorder, because I think people do get them mixed up. They're similar, but they're also very different. And she was like, no, borderline personality disorder. And then I was like, no. And then she basically said to me, she was like, it would really make sense if that's what you have, because she obviously has all my medical history and stuff, my mental health, and obviously like I've spoken to her loads of times. And she basically explained to me that there's 9 main symptoms of BPD. I'll actually read them out to you because it's actually wild. Like, and she said to me, she was like basically saying, I really think you have BPD, but obviously she can't just say you've got BPD. You have to obviously go through the like psychiatrist assessment. So the main, and also please do not self-diagnose. If you think you have similar symptoms to stuff that I talk about in this video, please go to a GP. You really, really shouldn't self-diagnose, because it's actually pretty unhealthy to do. So yeah, that's one thing that's really fucking important, because I know it's easy to be like, oh, I must have that then. If you think you do, go to a GP, because if you just self-diagnose for something, you could be so wrong. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so the main 9 are fear of abandonment, which I've always had, unstable relationships, which I have, unclear or shifting self-image, yes, I basically have all of these basically, but impulsive, self-destructive behaviours, self-harm, extreme emotional swings, chronic feelings of emptiness and explosive anger. I fit the whole bloody thing, and so I was like, okay, like I'll get assessed. You obviously have to wait a bit, like it's not just like that quick. I mean, mine was pretty quick to be fair, but not like quick, but I was very lucky. I think it's because I was in such a bad place, and my doctor obviously saw that and stuff, and she was like, hey, we'll get you blah blah. So I had to wait a bit, and then when it was the time on the waiting list or whatever, you basically have an assessment with a psychiatrist, and like they do all stuff like that. And yeah, you just have to see a psychiatrist, and it came back that I do have BPD, because I didn't hear anything for ages and I was like, okay. So I rang them and they basically gave me the results and it is BPD. I don't have ADHD. She suspected I did, but I was like, I really don't think I do, because I just don't think I fit the symptoms of that, and obviously I don't have it. But yeah, and then I was kind of like, okay, so, you know, what's the treatment then? How do I help it? And she was like, there's no medication, because there's no medication for BPD, which is really annoying, but it's what it is. Nothing we can do. But I'm now on antidepressants. I've been on for months now, and they help with my depression, obviously, which gets really bad. So I feel like my moods are more stable. I still obviously get my mood swings, but I don't get as low, if that makes sense. Like when I'm low, I'm not as low as I normally would be, because it's like a serotonin something that I have. And then I also have DBT, which is dialectical behavioural therapy, which is a form of therapy that's really good for BPD guys and gals, do you know what I mean? So yeah, I have dialectical behavioural therapy, and I'm also on antidepressants. And dialectical behavioural therapy, let me tell you, if you have BPD, or I think you can have it for like other stuff, but it's so fucking good. I've had so much therapy in my life, and this is the best I've ever had. Like, it helps you deal with relationships, it helps you deal with like how you think about yourself and your thoughts. It's so good, really, really good. Highly recommend if you struggle with similar things to me. It is really fucking hard to get, but it's very good. So yeah, that's how I found out I've got BPD. And it just basically, as soon as I had like my examination, or whatever you call it, assessment thing, and then I started to read up more on it, I was like, my whole life makes sense. And even when I was talking to my aunt about it, she was like, yeah, this really makes sense. I'm like, I know. But apparently people with BPD doesn't really get diagnosed till their 20s anyway, so it makes sense. But yeah. BPD queen! I call it beautiful princess disorder because I fucking hate BPD, I'm not gonna lie. I absolutely hate it so much, it drives me insane, but we're gonna call it beautiful princess disorder just to make it sound a little bit better. And I'm also very open about my mental health, if you couldn't really tell, because I just think people need to be open. Not everyone, not if you're in a vulnerable place, but I feel like I have a lot of younger viewers on here as well, and like just a lot of like anxious people as a whole. That's only from what you guys tell me, because obviously you like mental health talks and stuff like that. So if I can help, if I can just be open, honest with you guys, maybe it'll help you be more open and stuff like that. So yeah, love you. Ways to help get through a breakup: surround yourself with the right people. Like, literally, my friends pulled me through that breakup that I had last year so fucking well. Like, you know, when you literally feel like, I'm never going to get over this, I'm never going to be happy again, I'm never going to be in love again. Trust me, the right people will pull you through. So surround yourself with good people, do fun things, do things that makes you happy, as long as it's not going to obviously harm you, but do things that make you happy, like watch all your favourite movies, all your favourite programmes, listen to your favourite music, go to concerts, wallow in bed if you need to and just watch a nice series, but have some company, or just be texting your friends, FaceTime your friends. Make sure you get up and set a routine for yourself in the days, even if your routine is literally get up, brush teeth, have breakfast or whatever. Do something, lunch, do something, dinner, watch a movie, sleep. Like, just some kind of routine, otherwise you're just going to end up getting into a pit of sadness and it's just not good for you. Even though it feels like that's the easy thing to do, it's not good. But yeah, you just got to surround yourself with the right people. Remember, it will be okay. It just sucks. Breakups fucking suck. They're the worst. But you will always, always, always get through it, and then you'll look back in a few years' time and you'll be like, oh, that was for the good. Obviously I don't know what the situation is, but just trust me on that. Time's a healer. I feel numb about life lately. I don't know what to do. Any advice? And someone also said, does it get better? I'm kind of going to put them into one. So there's been many times where I feel completely numb, and like last year I really struggled with feeling so depressed, where you just literally feel like you just feel nothing, and nothing makes you happy, nothing makes you feel any certain way. You just literally feel, as you said, numb, and then you don't see like a light at the end of the tunnel. It's really annoying because there's no like solid advice I can give you, or like a solid answer, but you really just have to keep going. Like, never ever ever put pressure on yourself when you're feeling like that. Don't put pressure on yourself to get everything done, to work super hard, to do this, to do that, to clean the house, you know. Don't put any fucking pressure on yourself, because it's just unnecessary. All of that stuff can wait. The only thing you should be focusing on is your mental health, because that's what's gonna carry you through life anyway, do you know what I mean? So you have to look after it. You need to tell someone, even if like, I know it's not the same, but even literally how you've said it to me, and then I'm just gonna talk to you about it. Just something, like if you haven't got anyone to talk to, do that, or, you know, listen to other people's experiences when they've been through stuff like that, and when they've been feeling like that, see what they do. And you just have to keep going, like as hard as it fucking is. And in answer to the other question, does it get better? Yes, it does. And then it's probably going to go down again, and then it's just going to go up again. But every time you go through those feelings and those hard times, the next one is a little bit easier, because you know how to deal with it, and you know that you can get through it. So it does just make you stronger every single time. Because I'll be completely honest with you, if you struggle with like depression and stuff, it's probably going to come back at one point. You'll get better, and then hopefully it doesn't. Obviously I don't want that, but it does tend to stoop back down again, just because it's our minds, and it is a chemical thing. It is literally a thing in your brain that you can't turn on or off, unfortunately. Some people have it, some people don't. Some people struggle with it worse, some just a little bit. But everyone is completely valid. It really does get better, I promise you. You just need to make sure that you're just doing things for you. No pressure, just simple day-to-day things. Making sure you try and brush your teeth once a day. Obviously twice if you can, but if you do it once a day, give yourself a pat on the back. Even just getting up out of bed and getting into the shower, just be proud of yourself, because when you feel like numb and low, everything is so much harder. And I find that the smaller things like brushing teeth, getting out of bed, are actually harder, because you need like a purpose to get up and do it. But you always have purpose. There's nothing in life that you're ever not going to get through, even if it seems so awful at the time. And I can't speak for everything, because some things people have gone through that I could never imagine, like things that are just so horrific. But I find it really hard these videos, because I don't want to say the wrong thing, because I don't want it to be taken wrong, but I feel like you guys kind of get what I'm trying to say. Yeah, you just need to keep going, honestly. Like, it will always get better. And when you feel like that, sometimes it can last a day, sometimes it can last a week, it can last months. It is just shit, it really is. But just make sure that someone knows how you're feeling. Make sure you're doing things for you. You're focusing on you, because like I said, everything else can wait. Nothing's gonna go anywhere. And you know, like, even if you just do one little thing at a time, one thing a day, just something. But yeah, and every single person has something to live for. Even if you feel like, no I don't, trust me, you do. You just might have not found it yet, but if you keep going, you'll find it. Some people is when they become a mum, or just a parent in general. Some people it's their pet, some people it's their job, or it's a hobby that they love, like running, or even some people it's music. Like, just find your purpose in life. Doesn't matter what the fuck it is, it could be anything. It doesn't need to be anything like extravagant. Like, everyone needs a purpose in life, because that will pull you through, and then good people around you. And sometimes finding your people can come with time. Like, I've only found mine in the past few years. Like, I'd say the past like 2 or 3 years I've found like my people. Whereas before I was like, I don't have anyone that gets me. But it comes with time. But I hope some of that helps. Like I said, there's no straightforward answer. But I think sometimes it's just nice to, like, I know we're not talking to each other, but like talk to a stranger, do you know what I mean? But you guys can come to me anytime, and if I ever am not seeing your message on Instagram, please just, because I don't check my DMs all the time, just comment one of my pictures saying, Chia, check your bloody DMs, I need some advice. And I'll go and check, because I'm more likely to see that. But I'm sending you so much love, and it will get better, it always does. Even if you literally think, no Chia, you're lying, trust me, I've been there, been at the lowest, you do get through it. Just gotta keep going. How do you deal with hormones? Being a female is hard. Yes, honey, it is. It is so hard. Don't get me wrong, men obviously struggle. It's not just women that struggle, men struggle a hell of a lot as well. But we're just talking about our female hormones here, because Jesus Christ, especially when it gets to the week before my time of the month, I'm miserable, I am angry, I get the ick over everything, I'm rude. You just can't help it. I also find that if I'm being a little bit sassy, I tend to take it out on Nori, because I feel like you take it out on the person closest to you. And then I'll literally say to him, look baby, I love you, but I'm due on my period, babes. So if I'm a bit aggy, don't take it personal. And then he'll be like, oh, okay, whatever. And I'll just be like, just ignore me. Or I just tend to keep myself to myself on those few days. And I don't sit with him, because then I feel like I'm just going to be a bitch for no reason. Because that's how I get when I'm due on. So yeah, female hormones are so hard. It's just not fun, is it? But then I also think being a female is also fun, and I love being a girl, so yeah. But you just gotta ride it out. You just gotta have a little rant. If you fancy a chocolate bar, go get yourself a chocolate bar. If you fancy a Chinese takeaway, get yourself a Chinese takeaway. Do what you want. Eat all the snacks that you want to eat. If it's because your female hormones want you to eat that chocolate, eat that chocolate. You've got to listen to your body. Have baths, watch nice films, sometimes just sit in silence and scroll on your phone. Because sometimes I literally don't want to talk to anybody when I feel like that. I'm like, no one talk to me, I want to be on my own, eating my food, shut the fuck up. If you want to be on your own, be on your own. Do you know what I mean? Have some time for yourself. So yeah, that's my advice for female hormones. But us girls, we're crazy. I'm going to do one more. I feel bad because I want to answer all of these, so let me know if you want to see another one. I'll just answer more. But I find it so hard making friends. Any advice? Yes. This was me for a long time, especially in school. I struggled so much. I never felt like I had my people. Like, don't get me wrong, I had a couple friends who I literally will always have so much love for, and they know exactly who they are from school. I think it's just annoying because it really is time. Like, some people meet their bestest lifelong friends in primary school, some people meet them in secondary, some people meet them in sixth form or college or uni or whatever. Some people don't meet them until they're way older. Your friends will come around when you least expect it, but I feel like I've found mine because I put myself out there more, and obviously my interests are stuff like gigs, heavy music, alternative stuff. I also love getting glam and going out, so I feel like if you do those things and you kind of surround yourself with people like that anyway, even if you haven't got anyone to go to gigs with, just go and you will honestly make friends. Like, on TikTok, obviously please be careful on social media because there are some very, very odd people around there. Please be careful. But you can make friends. Like, I've met so many of my gig friends from social media, and they'll be like, oh, blah, 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 and we'll chat, and just like if you're going to the same gig as someone, be like, oh, we should like come say hi, whatever, we should meet up, have a drink. Obviously be safe, but yeah, just like surround yourself with like-minded people of whatever you're into. Like, it could be anything, and you'll just find them. Like, you're obviously going to go through the shittier friends, the fake friends. You're always going to meet people like that in your life that are just not the vibe. But like, that's very normal to fall out with friends. It's very, not I'm saying you should do it all the fucking time, because that's not ideal, but if you've had like a falling out with someone, sometimes people just grow apart and stuff like that, but then you'll meet your friends who are like your lifelong, who you can have a bit of a bicker but then you're still busy. Do you know what I mean? Because that's also very normal, like especially with girls, I find, like, especially when we obviously have periods and stuff, so our hormones are like, woo, like when one's really happy and one might be really pissed off, and like you just clash. But like, if they're your friends, they'll be your friends, do you know what I mean? And you'll just get through stuff together. Surround yourself with like-minded people. Don't give up hope with it, because that's the silliest thing you can do. Like, be open to making new friends, like be yourself. Don't pretend to be anyone else. Don't pretend to be something that you think people might like more. Just be yourself, because at the end of the day, they're going to see you for yourself anyway, so you may as well be it straight away. And then if you become friends, that is amazing. If not, there'll be other friends, do you know what I mean? And you'll just, like, your whole life you'll make friends. Like, there's probably friends I'm going to have in like 20 years who I haven't got a clue who they are right now, but in 20 years time there could be like most amazing friends, do you know what I mean? So this life is a long run. Enjoy it, do what makes you happy, and then those people, you'll kind of like find each other. Because obviously I literally met Ella through TikTok, and then we were both going to the same Bring Me the Horizon concert, and we were like, oh, we'll meet before. And I remember we were both so anxious, we were like, hi, you right? But now, fucking look at us, do you know what I mean? Same with like all my close friends, even like Amy, who isn't in like the alternative scene world thing. I met her through like, and we went to an event that we were both, there was an event we were both at, and we just became friends, and we were like, oh, we can like shoot content together. Like, you just meet people when you least expect it. But I feel like if you're surrounded by like-minded people, you'll just become friends. So I really hope that helps, but don't feel alone with it, because I think you'd be very surprised how many people actually really struggle when it comes to stuff like that. And I feel like there's so much pressure, because in school you'll have like popular girl groups, and I always used to be like, oh, I'd love to be part of a girl group, but then in reality it was just the fakest thing ever. So don't get sucked in by other friendship groups that you see either. Don't even think about that, just focus on your own self and making real true friends, because there's a lot of fake bitches out there, and that is not the vibe that you want. So yeah, this video is 40 minutes long already, so I am gonna end this video and go and edit it to make it a little bit shorter, because I feel like none of you are gonna want to sit there and listen to my voice at 40 minutes. I mean, some might, but I wouldn't want to. So yeah, but I love you all so much. If you do want to see another bit, like if you want to see more videos like this, just let me know in the comments. I just feel like sometimes it's nice to have a chat. It's not like the purpose of this video, it's just nice to have a chat sometimes, and just to hear people rant, because sometimes just put it on the background. Like, I'll watch someone's videos and I'll just do makeup and it'll just be in the background, them just chatting loads of shit, and it's just nice sometimes. It's like girl therapy. So yeah, I hope also anyone who sent something in, I hope it helps even in the slightest bit, because it's hard. It's really, really hard when you're going through stuff, like especially when you feel like you're on your own, but you've got me. Love you so much. Sending so much love to every single one of you, every single person watching this video. And remember, everything will always be okay. That is my mantra in life. I'm like, everything's going to be okay. It'll be okay. It'll be fine, because it really does. Trust me on that. Even the worst thing in the world, it'll be okay in the end. So yeah. Love you, pumpkins. Have the best week. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.